I hate the Twitch thing. And basically, it starts it without me even starting it. I could be typing the title of the stream and it'll just start streaming.
Yep. Yeah, I have an Elgato HDS capture card that I used to make YouTube videos, but my computer's not working, so I have to wait till I get a new computer.
Well, see, I can't do any of those stream overlays or anything because I run off a Mac, and Mac doesn't support all those Windows things. So. Yeah. Alrighty. We are on Dragon's Ridge. I'm gonna be doing the south spawn for the first part of this map. I'm here with Luxy NA. He will be assisting me today. This is a map that a lot of people hate. I think it's just because of the fact that most of those people that complain are in heavy tanks. This map pretty much kind of is more towards medium tanks and to certain parts of the maps, tank destroyers. I think I'll start here with the zero line and work my way left. So yeah, that's the spawn right there in the bowl. I have seen Artie way back there against the border. Heavy tanks and such will kind of spawn over here on this ridge. This is mainly heavy tank alley back here. This is a no, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong ridge. They will tend to spawn over there. I'm already getting a little confused. Right here on this side, TDs, right where I'm at, is pretty much a very good spot to getting opening shots for everyone crossing that ridge. By the time the enemy team gets to crossing that open ridge right there, you would already have most of your team camping on this ridge, and if you get lit up, you're going to die. I have encountered that problem numerous times. Now, and the TDs will tend to stick down along this ridge for the most part the whole game. They will occasionally move and shift, but for the most part, they stay there on that ridge. I don't come all down here that often. It's the heavy tanks that come down here. You have some nice hull down spots. Enemy TDs will tend, from what I've seen, they will camp over there along that back road there for anyone crossing. Luxy, how often have you come down here in this canyon?
I usually do play heavy tanks. I try to avoid coming down here. I actually stick towards the middle of the map. But yeah, I have seen many heavy tanks fighting down here, and honestly, I have a spot in the middle where I get easy shots on them, but it just depends on your playstyle, to be honest.
This is like a mix of a corridor open map. This is a very like corridor-ish section. You got a lot of terrain and rocks and stuff to be able to side scrape, hide your hull. It's very brawly atmosphere down here. The only like no man's land section is this little village right here in this bowl. A brawl will always go on right over there. There will either be one team pushing left, south, or one team pushing north. That opening that I mentioned earlier is right there. So I have seen from time to time enemy tanks rush down here and get behind that rock and just hide from getting shot. But that's more or less really covered. It's just very brawly. Most of the good players will avoid coming down here unless they really want to get into a fight. But it's for the most part a dead zone because you're just going to get shot down on top of from everyone that's up here. Yeah, and whoever wins this, whoever takes this low area here is going to shoot down on you.
Yeah, usually this is the spot I usually get to my heavies, working up here on the tanks that are up here, and then if they're kind of playing a little defensive, I'll get back here and get shots at the guys that are down in that little brawling alley down there.
Yeah. Really quick, behind that, there's two spots that heavy tanks will kind of come over to, or TDs. This is a good spot for at least initial getting shots for any light tank or something trying to cross. You can keep down here. And if an arty is starting to target you, you can easily just go up against this rock. TD's over. Go ahead, sorry.
Just being in that spot, you gotta have to. I know mediums like to play the DE 3-4 area, and they always have easy shots against heavies.
Yeah. This is a ridge right here where I do see heavies or TDs get stuck on. It really, if there's an enemy tank over on this ridge over here, and if you get spotted like I am, you're just going to get shot at from everyone over to your left. So unless your team is keeping those guys at bay, this really isn't a good spot to be staying where you're at. You're better off, you're better off pushing up here and pushing up on them. Village is another like really brawlish spot right here. No one goes into it, but if you get in there, I can guarantee it's going to get dirty really quickly. Some buildings here, are destructible, indestructible. It's very confusing if you aren't paying attention, trying to escape, and you'll hit a building you'll think it's destructible. It's a mess. I can't believe I took that much off just for a side scrape. All right, we'll go to that. Pretty much covers this side. I'll move over left over here. This is where I tend to go. Is this another destructible building? Yes, it is. All right. Over here, this is where I sometimes go to. It's not all the time, but I go over here in a medium tank with like the Action X to get gun depression, or maybe even some light tanks just to spot anyone that might try and get side shots on my teammates back on that ridge I mentioned. You can sometimes catch actually already still, not bothering to move, and they will, they'll still be there. You can get some nice good shots or open a spot for counter battery from your team. If you are not challenged on this ridge line, I'd be very cautious. You could peek up over here on this side. And as you can see, this ridge is very nice for a gun depression tank. And you can get side shots on any of their tanks that are over here contesting with those heavy tanks over here on the right. It's a very nice, good spot. Although if you are detected and all those tanks are looking at you, do not peek out. It is very open here. You will get blasted. Anything else to comment on that? On this?
No, not really. All that was pretty much if you're in the south spawn, just avoid the open area down there by the GH line.
Enemies looking right at us.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of light tank YOLOs through that area for that.
Of course, light tanks always like to YOLO. Same spot area. If you come over here on this, you can shoot at any tanks that are trying to challenge you, challenge your team here. I'm gonna go back from this side. Now, I'm gonna quickly, very, very briefly, come over here in this back section. This is also like a no man's land area. If you are going to try, if you are a heavy tank, do not cross through this village. Do not cross through any of this. The reason behind it is that if the other team does have a light tank or something with a good amount of vision and they spot you here, you are kind of dead in the water. You are screwed. I have seen the heavy tanks that are not the super heavies, but like the super conks or the somewhat faster media heavies. They like to take this back area to where Luxy's at. There's plenty of cover. For the most part, you won't get spotted if you take. Yeah, you more than likely will not get spotted back here. Rare occurrences, really, if like you fire at the tanks up on that ridge when you get spotted. But beyond that, this is a good, safe travel lane to go to. I have seen some TDs come back here and camp as well, just to the port. It's not very often, but I have seen them back here. As you can see, you can get good shots on anyone cresting that ridge, anyone trying to flank around there. Like, it's a very nice vantage point from here. Never seen anything back there. Yeah, okay, that's an invisible wall.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I don't come back here that much.
Neither do I.
I never get it. I never.
I've just seen lightly, either like either heavy camo cruise TDs or just lightly armored TDs back there. But
Yeah.
usually the slower TDs get up on the ridge.
Enemies got us in their sight.
Talk about fragile.
I know.
So this little section is its own little like brawl zone in itself. These like rice paddy farm ledge, I don't even know what type of term they're called. They provide some protection from getting flank shots, but not a whole lot. If you lose that ridge there from this, if the north side takes this ridge, this is a nice like safe little spot to try and flank them, or also flank the enemy team over on this side. The main brawl zone for the 1-3 line is this this ridge right here. This is like the main brawl area. It would just be back and forth banter, really trying to get some good shots, cupolas, whatever. When you do eventually, this requires almost coordination from all three sides of the 3 line, the 2 line, and the 1 line to be able to take this relatively quickly. The 1 line can push around this rock here, swing around behind them as you can see, and then you get flanking shots. Same way with the 3 line, like I just mentioned, you can come around and get flanking shots of them. Once you have this area, for the most part, you have just won the whole 1-3 area. Don't really see much. I've never seen anything back there, camp. Well, just probably because there's not enough cover. But it's the same thing. You can, you know, these rice paddies provide nice. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry. Provide nice dump down cover, or probably not the right word for it, but you know, if you need to get off that ledge quickly, these make nice little escape routes. It will make people hesitate because they are afraid that they might take fall damage or roll over. They're that steep. But once you take this from the 3 line, it is you're just pushing your way over here. If you took it fast enough, Artie will either be dead by now or running. You'll have tanks up there getting side shots. Not wholly recommended unless you're like a fast light tank to come down here, because again, the enemy team will probably still be on those ridge lines and they'll be able to shoot down at you, and he who has the terrain more than likely has the advantage. But that's mostly how it is attacking from this side. Once you whittle down the enemy team from this side, and your heavy tanks are pushing on them, you're pretty safe to be able to go along with them. Very, very rarely, like once in a blue moon, have I seen the heavy tanks here in the 9-0 line actually succeed. And I'm talking both teams. Have I rarely ever seen them successfully win this and push up. For the most part, the battle is won here on everything from the 7 line over to the 1 line. The main battle is decided by those grids. It's mainly a mosh pit down there. I've never seen anyone cap these bases that much either. You run out of spots to hide very quickly, which is mostly why no one caps. It's kind of a kill-all, no-cap type of map, because there's not a lot of places for you to run.
No, in this back corner, this is where Artie likes to sit a lot.
Yeah, we're going to be covering the north spawn here in the next little segment. Like I said, TDs will tend to camp over here on this counter side over here. You can get some good shots. Yeah, that pretty much opens it up. I think that covers the south side.
Yep.
Do you think I missed anything?
Nah, you got it all, man.
All right, cool. All right. Of course.
They spotted us. The gas tank, that's not good.
All depends on if you can kill me before I reload.
Probably not, but I am loading heavy. brush.
Oh, that's
Okay, maybe. I was thinking your side skirts were going to protect you. Apparently, apparently I was wrong. Oh, well. I'll certainly kill you. There you go.
I have like 8 seconds on my reload.
Oh, jeez. Alright. But
You gotta
yeah,
switch
that
spawns
covers
now.
these. Yeah, I gotta switch spawns. Do this. Oh. What did I just do? Oh, I did not mean to do that. Let me just put off getting to the other thing that much more. Because people love watching these map walkthroughs of where I can't edit this part. You know what? That's what Wargaming needs to do. They need to make it to, I think like PC has the ability to where there is no time limit. I'd like that. That'd be helpful.
Yeah, you also
I wouldn't even know if that'd be that hard. There we go. All right, it's been a while since I've actually hosted one of these. All right, that should be good. Start. All right, so we will be covering the north side.
North,
Sorry,
yeah,
north
north.
side.
And honestly, the way I see it is like the north kind of has lesser options of where to go.
Yeah, the north actually, especially for Artie, they have like next to none, just because the areas where they could hide have so much like high, tall rock formations that it just interferes with their stuff. All right, same thing. We're gonna start at the 9-0 line, work our way left. I don't remember there being a spawn down here for standard. I don't remember that. Most of the time I've always spawned up there in like C9.
You spawned at C6? I've spawned at C6 before.
Yeah, I spawned at C6 there. Most of the time I spawn at C9 regardless of whatever tank I play. Okay, so apparently there is a spawn down there. I have never spawned there, so learning something new myself apparently. I'm just going to, for the part that if you do spawn up here, TDs, heavy tanks, heavy tanks will obviously just go down that way. Sometimes, most of the time, really, actually. This is that dead zone that I was talking about. If I get lit up here late enough or early enough in the game, and there's enough tanks over there on that ridge, yeah, I'm going to die. I am not going to make it. Extremely jealous. But if you're a fast enough tank, you can cross here relatively safe. Most part, I would recommend if you are going to. TDs also like to stick around here. I don't know why. The moment you peek out, you're going to get lit. You must. I'm assuming these tanks that do are just heavily armored enough that they can withstand it, or they got some guts.
I've never seen any fighting
Artie,
back here.
No, never, unless it's a cleanup.
Yes.
That's why I'm not really going to cover that. There's nothing back there. You
Except
go back
for-
there
I mean-
because you're the last tank alive and you want to have a nice little holdout spot. It doesn't last. There's like no good spots. Artie is always back here. I have seen Artie back here on this ridge. I have no clue how they get up there. I have seen Artie behind this rock. Don't know how that works out for him. I don't play Artie. If you are going to cross over, it is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's much safer to do it if you are a slower, heavier TD. Come around this rock. Just come around the rock. Deal with having to climb up a little bit. Yeah, you're slow, but you know it's better to have all your hit points than half or none and be sent back to the garage in 15 seconds. This again, same area. This is a nice little brawl spot. Same like thing. Cross a little bowl. I'm really not going to cover anything back there. They have next to nothing back there. The North spawn doesn't.
Fire on target.
They have some ridges and spots that I have never been able to get to, so I can't really show you how to get to them, nor do I know if they're supposed to be part of the map. But you got a nice little bump ridge here. I have seen a Badger get like right here and hold down this spot like almost by himself. Right here, the Badger is a really big pain in the butt to deal with frontally, and he just planted himself right here and was able to shoot across. There's no Artie in this game. Keep in mind that Artie would have eaten him, but the premise is the same here. You can push across, or you can push down to assist if need be. That rock that I mentioned, like here. If you are sneaky and you have the ability to side scrape or something, this is a nice spot to try and to deal with some TDs, like a 705A maybe, or 250B or Jagdpanzer E100. I've seen some of that. A Waffle will never live here. A Waffle will never successfully live in this area. He will get killed. It's really a mosh pit. There's a lot of entrances here to where, the enemy team can come in and they can't get out the same way, or there's just areas that you get blocked out. A nice little flanking route for if you're pushing north, or if you're pushing the south team. Can you? I've never been able to get over it. You might be way less than me.
I know, but I can. I don't think you can get
Interesting. No, I think that's a straight drop off. That's what I'm saying. You can get into some areas and you can't get out the same way. You can flank these guys. You can also safely, without exposing yourself, get around onto the TDs, heavies, right here. Safely do that. Keep in mind that other heavy tanks or TDs that might have still be on that ridge will have shifted to deal with you. There's enough foliage of these trees here to completely hide the other team from getting spotted. But this tends to be the other little brawl. It's like a semi-symmetrical map. The play style of how you tackle the map is the same for the most part across the whole map. It's just the terrain is so unique, especially in the 9-0, even the 8 line. It's a mosh pit. There's really no set strategy to that. You just fight. Same premise. You can sneak around here, get shots on the TDs over there. Alright, but that pretty much covers that. At least the 7 through 0 section for locations and stuff. Again, this town's a mosh pit, like another tiny little mosh pit. If you do spawn, you know what? I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I have spawned down there once or twice in a medium tank. If you spawn down there in a medium tank, you're gonna come through these over these rice paddies right here. The fastest route for me was I was coming over, climbed these rice paddy ledges, whatever. I'm gonna call them the rice ledges or the rice paddies. Come up this road right here. If you're a light tank, especially do this. Catch these guys off guard. You can come up here on this ridge. If you encounter tanks up here, more than likely it's going to be, you guys are going to be fighting right here. This is a nice little spot. I've come right here sometimes, and I've been able to get spots on that ridge, that corner right there. I've been able to spot them, get side shots like I mentioned in the first half. You can spot heavy tanks and stuff crossing through the little no man's land down there, get some side shots. And if you get lit, you can just back up. It's nice. That's what I like about ridge lines. You can just back up over the ridge line, be safe. Same thing. If light tanks or things start trying to push on this ridge, the good side about that part right there is you can kind of peek over and shoot them. supporting your flank here. The middle is that area you can pretty much support the whole section of 7 through 1 just from that middle area. It's still very important, and like no one goes to it anymore except for like 1 or 2 mediums. Again, you can pretty much flank here. It's the same setup for this section. Both teams are able to flank around each other in the three micro corridors here. You can fight here. Tanks like the STB and the Action X are going to be able to do very well here. A tank like the 430U or a 121, not so much. I treat those as heavy tanks and be more where the heavy tanks are, really. Down here, like I said, you almost never see any large heavies or TDs go down over here, or heavy tanks in general come over here. Maybe a fast like a 50B, but beyond that, nothing. You got some already cover here, but not a whole lot. This is a general brawl area. And I thought this was bigger. Yeah, I mean you could fight here. You could fight here. You could fight the TDs and stuff, haul down right here. I can't see with this grass.
Enemies looking right at us.
Yeah, you can fight TDs and stuff back here. I have seen a 7-1 wedge himself over here. I have no clue where it's at exactly. Excuse me. I think it's right here. I've seen a 7-1 put himself right here with some good amount of success to be able to stop people on that ridge. Not so much to anyone flanking on that side. If you peek out here, you're overextended. So you can get good side shots from that. Okay, once you win this side, win this side or win the middle. If you pretty much win middle there, you're just kind of pushing along. You're from the north side. You're stuck there in the middle portion. Stop here real fast. You're stuck there in the middle portion, just providing supporting fire on the tanks that are still around that corner. Once your heavy tanks are right there, you can pretty much push down along with them and flank around. If you're attacking the base from the 1-3 area, same premise. Unless the heavy tanks are on that ridge corner right there, take these back roads to get around. They already might have fallen back behind here or some TDs, so watch it. If the arty, if your allies have pushed around there and are pushing on those TDs, you can safely cross the middle, the little no man's land here on the south side. You can safely cross. But if you want to be extra safe, take these back roads, deal with the arty who probably is hidden back here, or anyone else. And you got cover to be able to shoot up at them.
Yeah, I've never seen really anybody ever cap on this map because it's just like so open, no cover. So I've never seen any caps happen.
That's the thing I don't quite understand, is that some maps are just so open that there's no point in capping that people still cap. No, like Hillbraun, for example. Hillbraun is like a no man's land just to get to the other team's cap. It's just no. But anyway, real fast. Once you come around, you clear this, or you come through the no man's land, clear this. You have access to their cap. You can push up on them with the ridge if you got a strong gun depression or a turret. Often I've seen fast light tanks or medium tanks. They've come this route and gone up that hill to flank, or even I have seen 4005s or some other TDs that have big guns. They've pretty much hid back here and just, waited for someone to come up on them. This is a nice little back road as well to get some good flanks. Arty, I have seen take this back road to get to safety. For the most part, again, this is like another little section. No one really comes back here unless they're hiding, trying to just, go out with a final huzzah. No brawl here because this is practically their spawn. But that road back there is a nice little assault point I've seen some not TDs, some heavy tanks take that back road to where Luxie's at. Not a whole lot really there for you. You're still way out of the action. For the most part, for the tanks from the north side, if you win this section here, yeah, you got to clear out all these little corridors. I might as well cover them since this is the closing half of the thing. It was a minute 40. That road that I just came down in here on, that's where the heavy tanks tend to come up at if they win this section. This is a spot here that TDs have dived down into if they had to. That's that ridge that I believe Luxie discovered there. You're more than likely going to die if you come across here. This is pretty much like the final battle area right here. If you come down here, more than likely you're really not going to be able to get out that much. Brawls tend to happen around here. This is a focal point for the brawl, which would lead to that road. You really like just on my butt, don't you? You like it there.
I have found myself on a couple, I have it in a 1v4 on this map before, and it's really just, you want to stick on the ridge line. You don't want to get down here, because if there's a tank up there, there's not really much you can do down here.
The key part of some of these maps, and I'm going to say this for some of them, I cover them like Muravanka, Hilbron, Pro to a certain extent, and there's one other map I did. The hills are always the control points. If you hold the hill in some certain maps, you pretty much have complete map control. Malinovka is famous for that, especially in encounter mode, because the cap is up there. But yeah, for the most part, that pretty much covers Dragon's Ridge in a nutshell. Key points to take away is don't go down the 8-0 area unless you are really itching for a fight. But everything 7, the 1 to 7 lines are pretty much where the deciding factor for the battle of the map going to take place. That pretty much covers Dragon's Ridge. Hopefully you found it helpful. Special thanks to Luxie here for assisting me.
Sure.
But that's going to be it.